Ezekiel 8, idolatry in the temple. In the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, the hand of the sovereign Lord came upon me there. I looked and I saw a figure like that of a man. From what appeared to be his waist down, he was like fire, and from there up, his appearance was as bright as glowing metal. He stretched out what looked like a hand, and he took me from the hair of my head. The Spirit lifted me up between the earth and heaven, and in a vision of God, he took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance to the north gate of the inner court, where the idol that provokes to jealousy stood. And there before me was the glory of God of Israel, as in the vision I had seen in the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, look toward the north. So I looked. And in the entrance north of the gate of the altar, I saw this idol of jealousy. He said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? They utterly detestable things the house of Israel is doing there, things that will drive me far from my sanctuary. But you will see things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance to the court. He looked, and I saw a hole in the wall. He said, Son of man, now dig into the wall. So I dug into the wall and saw a doorway there. He said, Go in and see the wicked and detestable things they are doing here. So I went in and looked, and I saw portrayed all over the walls all kinds of crawling things, detestable animals, all the idols of the house of Israel. In front of them stood 70 elders of the house of Israel, and son of Shaphan was standing among them. Each had a censer in his hand, and a fragrant cloud of incense was rising. He said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of the house are doing in the darkness, each at the shrine of his own idol? They say, The Lord does not see us. The Lord has forsaken the land. Again he said, You will see them doing things that are even more detestable. Then he brought me to the entrance of the north gate of the house of the Lord, and I saw women sitting there mourning for Tammuz. He said to me, Do you see this, son of man? You will see things that are even more detestable than this. He then brought me into the inner court of the house of the Lord, and there at the entrance of the temple, between the portico and the altar, were about 25 men, with their backs toward the temple of the Lord and their faces toward the east. They were bowing down to the sun in the east. He said to me, Have you seen this, son of man? It is a trivial matter for the house of Judah to do the detestable things they are doing here. Must they also fill the land with violence and continually provoke me to anger? Look at them putting the branch in their nose. Therefore, I will deal with them in an anger. I will not look on them with pity or spare them. Although they shout in my ears, I will not listen to them. Wow, there's some things going on here that are pretty bad in this vision that he is having, that Ezekiel is having this vision, and it's a vision of these detestable things that are going to go on in the world. And thinking about the things that are going on now, there's things here that we don't even know about in other countries that have gone on. We are a blessed nation, so we have not had even close to what many other nations are going through. But we don't want it to come here. We know that God is going to bring judgment upon the land when it's time, because of the detestable things that are going on. But the more we allow ourselves to just truly focus on him, he's going to reveal things to us and show us how to pray, how to speak, how to take authority over things, but also how to keep ourselves with him, trusting him. He'll bring us through. And that's why in the end there's going to be, we're all going to be caught up in the air. If you know Jesus as your Lord, you're going to be caught up in the air before the real bad tribulation comes, because there's going to be tribulation like crazy. It's like nobody has ever seen. And right now we are a blessed nation. We haven't had that. And Israel is too, and we're protecting Israel. Israel and us are the godly nations. And my husband had said God loves Israel because that's his chosen nation. But we Americans, we loved God. and we put him first. We trusted him. And so that's what's kept this nation so pure and clean and good. But we know there's things happening even now with corruption, of course, with what we see right now with the election. And with mobs and silly stuff. So we know, but right now we are so blessed. We don't have to give up a baby. We don't have to do these things. We're choosing what we want to do here. And that's the difference between the other nations. But God is our protection. But he is all sovereign, but at the same time, he speaks to us what to say, what to deliver, what to speak forth, prophecy, how to take authority. He told us he's given us power to take authority in his name. So we take authority over those things and we push them aside and we say, now the enemy is going to fall into his own pit while I walk by in safety. He's going to be seen for what he does. God detests unequal scales. God sees it's a sin to bring up even the evil things that are done in secret. So we're reading now back when Ezekiel saw this vision and he saw the detestable things going on, and God showed him there's going to be more and more. But there's a place here, I'm almost sure, that's going to come that he says, we are in the place that God puts us, but he leads us through. He protects us. If he leads us there, he'll protect us and show us what to do, and he'll have us speak. But we need to keep our hearts and our minds on him and trusting him, loving the people of God, being in unity with Jesus and the people in the unity of the faith. Okay? So number 8, Ezekiel 8. But there is a time coming, so we want to get all our friends are saved and our families saved, because we don't want them to go through that, In the 6th year, in the 6th month, on the 1st day, while I was sitting in my house, and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, the hand of the sovereign Lord came upon me there. Sovereign Lord. He's the reason why such destruction hasn't come to America. He is the reason. And it's because of what we chose when we first started out as a nation. We chose God. So he is our sovereign Lord. He came to me. I looked and I saw a figure like that of a man from what appeared to be his waist. His appearance was a bright glowing metal. Oh wait, didn't I read that just now? Wait a second. 8. Okay, we read 8. Now we're reading 9. I'm sorry. Then I heard him call out in a loud voice, "Bring the guards of the city here, each with a weapon in his hand." And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen who had a writing kit at his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. Now the glory of God of Israel went up from above the cherubim where it had been and moved to the threshold of the temple. Then the Lord called to the man clothed in linen who had the writing kit at his side and said to him, "Go throughout the city of Jerusalem and put a mark